Hello Mathematicians, for today we're going to discuss a new topic which is graphing linear equations. So what is linear equations? Linear equation is an equation which all the terms only have a power of 1. For example, y equals 2x plus 1, y minus 2x plus 1 equals 0, and x minus 4 equals y. So all of them has an exponent of 1. So they are considered as linear equations. So graphing linear equations class has 3 methods. So you could graph linear equation using 2 points, using slope and y-intercept, and using x and y-intercept. So basically, our mission here in this discussion or in this topic is we're going to graph the linear equation. And if we're going to graph the linear equation, we can create a line because the graph of a linear equation is a line. And for today, we're going to discuss only the first 2 methods, which are the 2 points and the slope and y-intercept method. So sit back, relax, and prepare now your materials like notebook and ballpen and ruler in watching this video. Now let us start discussing on how to graph linear equations given 2 points. So class, in graphing linear equations using point plotting method, you're going to follow these simple steps. Step 1. Find at least 2 points that satisfy the equation by assigning values for x and solving for y. But in our case, we're going to require you to have at least 3 points so that we could really check if we could create a line out of the given equation. Step 2. Form ordered pair x and y. And lastly, plot the points on the rectangular plane and connect the points to form a straight line. So what are you waiting for? Let's have now example number 1. Graph the linear equation using point plotting method. Y equals 2x plus 3. So the first step, class, we're going to solve or we're going to find or we're going to assign values for x. In this case, we give you the free will to choose any point or any number you want to assign for x. So in this case, we're going to use numbers 1, 2, and 3. After assigning your 3 points or your chosen 3 points or 3 numbers for x, we're going now to solve for the value of y by substituting the x that you have chosen to the equation. So 2, change the value of x to 1 since you have chose 1, minus 3. So 2 times 1 is 2, minus 3, the answer is negative 1. So your ordered pair here, class, is 1 since you have chosen 1 and our solved value for y is negative 1. So that is now our first point. Next, copy 2 in a given equation. Change the value of x to 2, minus 3. So 2 times 2 is 4, minus 3, that is 1, correct? Then our ordered pair here is 2 and 1. Lastly, still copy 2. Change the x now to the third point that we have chosen, which is 3, minus 3. So 2 times 3 is 6, minus 3, then that is 3. So our ordered pair here is 3. So because we have chosen the third point or the third number as 3 and the solved value for y, which is 3. Afterwards, class, we're going to plot that now in our Cartesian plane. Okay. So 1, negative 1, 1, negative 1 is here. And I want you to label that 1, 1, negative 1. Next would be 2, 1, 2, 1 here. And then label the ordered pair. Next, 3, 3. Then still label. After plotting all the points, we need to connect the 3 points in a line. So I want you to connect the 3 points using this one. Okay? So connect the 3 points, then put arrowheads in each ends. Now let's proceed to example number 2. Graph the linear equation using point plotting method. The equation is y equals negative 3x plus 15. So given the table, I will give you a free will, class, to choose what point or what value of x you want to choose for x in this part. Okay. So for example, we're going to choose 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to substitute 2 to x, so 3, 2 plus 15. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6 plus 15. So the answer is positive 9. So your ordered pair here is 2, 9. Next, copy negative 3, change x to 3 plus 15. Negative 3 times 3, that's negative 9 plus 15. The answer is 6. So your ordered pair here is 3, 6. Lastly, negative 3 times 4 plus 15. So negative 3 times 4 is 12 plus 15. Oh, I'm sorry, negative 3 times 4 is negative 12 plus 15. The answer is positive 3. So here, our ordered pair is 4, 3. Next up, we're going to plot now and graph our ordered pair. So here in our Cartesian coordinate system, we're going to plot now our ordered pair. So first is 2, 9. 2, 9 is in this place and label 2, 9. Next is 3, 6. So 3, 6 is in this place, then label 3, 6. Next, 4, 3. 4, 3 is in this part and label 4, 3. After that, class, I want you to connect the points using a ruler. Make sure it is in the straight line. So connect and put arrowheads in each end, indicating that that line will be continuous until the end. Okay, now let's move on to the next example. Graph the linear equation using point plotting method. Y equals x plus 3. So in our table here, again, you are free to choose what points for x that you're going to assign. So I will expect that you have different points here for x. So at this example, I will choose 0, 2, and 4. Okay, and I will change x to 0 plus 3. 0 plus 3 is 3. So our ordered pair here is 0, 3. Next, 2 plus 3. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Change our ordered pair is 2, 5. Lastly, change x to 4. 4 plus 3, that is 7. And our ordered pair here is 4, 7. Next up, plot the points in the Cartesian plane. And I will change first the color of my pen. So here 0, 3. 0, 3 is in this part and label 0, 3. Next, 2, 5. 2, 5 is here and label 2, 5. Next, 4, 7. 4, 7 is here. So 4, 7 here. And then lastly, connect the 3 points using a straight edge or ruler and make sure that you will put arrowheads in each end. So class, this is now the example or all examples for graphing a linear equation using point plotting method or using two-point method. I hope you have learned something and you are now ready to answer the formative assessment. Thank you and good luck. Now let us proceed to the next way or the next method of graphing linear equations, which is graphing linear equations using slope-intercept method. Slope-intercept form of a line is in this form. The linear equation y equals mx plus b is in the slope-intercept form. The slope of the line is represented by letter m and its y-intercept is represented by variable b. Okay. Now let's have example. Now graphing linear equations using slope and y-intercept. These are the steps. To graph linear equation using slope and y-intercept method, we need to follow this one. Step 1. Express the equation in slope-intercept form if necessary. Second, plot the y-intercept using the ordered pair 0b. So whatever is the b, you will just pair that one with 0 as your x. Third, starting from y-intercept, use the rise and run in locating the second and third point. Fourth and last step, connect the points using a straight line. Okay, now let's proceed to example number 1. Graph the linear equation using the slope and y-intercept method. Y equals negative 2x plus 3. As you can see, class, first thing that you're going to do is examine if the given equation is in the form y equals mx plus b. And since with the thorough analysis, we think or we determine that it is already in slope y-intercept form, so the next thing that you're going to do is you need to identify your m or your slope. So your m here is negative 2. So negative 2, and you're going to express that one in fractional form. I want you to express this one as negative 2 over 1, and I want you, class, if it is in negative, put that in the denominator, put the negative in the denominator, so it will become 2 over negative 1. Your numerator will signifies your rise, and in the denominator, it will signify your run. Okay, next up, you need to identify your b, and your b is positive 3. After that one class, you need to express that one in ordered form and paired it with 0 as your x and the y-intercept 3. After having now this one, your slope and your y-intercept ordered pair, now we're going to proceed to plotting points. So in plotting points, you will start with your y-intercept. So since your y-intercept is 0, 3, you start here. Label 0, 3. Next class, you will rise 2 units upwards. So 1, 2. Next, you're going to run to the left since it is negative. So 1. So the next point is negative 1, 5. I want you to label it properly. Next, I want you to find the third point. Still follow the same process. Rise 2 steps upward. 1, 2, and run to the left since it's negative. So the next point is negative 2, 7. Label it properly. Then connect the points using a straight line. And don't forget to put arrowheads in each end, signifying that your line is continuous. Next example. Graph the linear equation using slope and y-intercept method. Y equals x minus 2. So again, the first thing that you're going to do, you are going to check if the given is in y-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. And after thorough analysis, we also determine that this given is in slope y-intercept form, so no need for us to transform in slope y-intercept form. Then we're going to identify directly the m and the b. So your m here is, since the numerical coefficient of x here, there's none, so there's an imaginary one, or understandable that there's 1 there, so your m is 1 and your b is negative 2. I've said here, class, that you need to express your m in fractional form, which is it will be equivalent to 1 over 1. And here, you need to have the ordered pair of b and pair it with 0 as your x and the y-intercept negative 2. After that one, you need to graph. And you will start first with your y-intercept. Your y-intercept is 0, negative 2, so here. 0, negative 2, label it properly, 0, negative 2. Then you need to rise 1 unit upwards, and you need to run 1 unit to the right since it's positive. So the answer here, the next point here is 1, negative 1. Same manner that you're going to find the third point, rise 1 unit upwards, then run to the right 1 unit, and the second or the third point is 2, 0. And after having 3 points, connect the 3 points using a straight line and put arrowheads at each end. Next example, number 3. Graph the linear equation using the slope and y-intercept method. Okay, 2x plus 3y equals 6. As you can see, class, the given is not in y-intercept form. So we need to transpose this one into y-intercept form. So what we're going to do, we're going to transpose 2x to the other side, so it will become 3y equals negative 2x plus 6. The value or the sign of 2x will change since we transpose it to the other side of the equal sign. Afterwards, we need to divide it by 3 because we want that, and the only variable or the only term that will left here in the equal sign on this side of the equal sign is only y. Divided by 3 all sides, since you already divide the other side with 3, and also divide all the terms with 3. Then cancel this one. So y equals negative 2 over 3x, you cannot divide that one, plus 6 divided by 3 is 2. So here we already have now in the y slope and y-intercept form of this linear equation. Then identify your m. Your m is this one, the numerical coefficient of x, negative 2 over 3. I've said, class, that as much as possible, we're going always to put the negative in the denominator, so that we're going to rise always upwards. So it will become 2 over negative 3. Next, for your b is 2, and half that one in the ordered pair 0, 2. Okay, so we need to graph. We're going to start with the y-intercept 0, 2. 0, 2 is here. 0, 2, label it properly. You're going to rise 2 units upward, so 1, 2, and run to the left 3 units because it's negative, so 1, 2, 3, and this would be negative 3, 4. Next, do the same manner, rise 2 units upward, 1, 2, and run to the left 1, 2, 3. And the third point is negative 6, 6. After having all the points, connect the 3 points using a straight line and put arrowheads in each end. And that's all, class, for graphing linear equation using slope and y-intercept method. See you on the next video, and we're going to discuss how to graph linear equation using the intercepts method. That's all, and you are ready to answer the formative assessment. This is Miss Buntong once again, telling you all, God bless and keep safe. Today, class, we're going to discuss the last but not the least method of graphing linear equations, and that is graphing linear equations by intercepts method. Last week, class, we have discussed the first 2 methods of graphing linear equations, and we're going to take a look back of last week's discussion. So graphing linear equations, class, has 3 methods. So you could graph linear equation using 2 points, using slope and y-intercept, and using x and y-intercept. If you want to recall and review the first 2 methods of graphing linear equations, just click the blue button below this video. And now, class, we're going to proceed to the discussion on how to graph linear equations given the intercepts, or the x and y intercept. Please watch this video. Graphing linear equations using intercepts. The following observations suggest a more efficient way to sketch the graph of a linear equation. The graph of any linear equation ax plus by equals c is a line. Only 2 points are needed to determine a line. Therefore, we're going to use this idea in graphing the last method of linear equation. The 2 points that are usually convenient to use are the points at which the line intersects the x-axis and the y-axis. These 2 points are called x and y intercepts. So by definition, x-intercept is the point where the graph intersects the x-axis, while y-intercept or the point where the graph intersects the y-axis. So intercept of a line. Consider the line given ax plus by equals c. The x-intercept of the line is the value of x when y is equal to 0. To find the x-intercept, let y be equal to 0 and solve for x in ax equals c. While number 2, the y-intercept of a line is the value of y when x is equal to 0. To find the y-intercept, let x be equal to 0 and solve for y in by equals c. So for you to understand better grade 8 math learners, then let's have examples. Graph the linear equation using intercepts method. Given 3x minus 2y equals 6. So what you're going to do first, you're going to find the y-intercept. In finding the y-intercept class, we're going to let x be equal to 0. So it will be 3x minus 2y equals 6 and change x to 0. 3 times 0 equals 2. That's minus 2y equals 6. So 0 minus 2y equals 6. It will become negative 2y equals 6 and divided by negative 2 divided by negative 2, so your y is equal to negative 3. Therefore, your y-intercept is 0 because you let x be equal to 0 and your y is negative 3. This is now the answer. And for the x-intercept, in finding the x-intercept, we will let y be equal to 0. So from the given 3x minus 2y equals 6, we will substitute 0 to y. And it will become 3x equals 6. Divided by 3 to get the value of x, then x will be equal to 2. Therefore, your x-intercept is 2 since your x is 2 and your y is 0. And that would be the final answer. Now, since we already have the x and the y-intercept, then we're going to graph. In graphing, we will start first with 0, negative 3. 0, negative 3 is in this part, and I want you to label 0, negative 3. Then plot the x-intercept. It will become here 2, 0 for your x-intercept, then connect the 2 points. Okay, I hope this is clear. Then we could proceed to the second example. Graph the linear equation using intercepts method. Given 2x minus y equals negative 2. The same manner that we have done in the first example, find the y-intercept. In finding the y-intercept, we will let our x be equal to 0. Copy the given 2x minus y equals negative 2. Substitute 0 to x. 2 times 0 minus y equals to negative 2. And it will become negative y equals negative 2 divided by negative 1, negative 1. Y equals to positive 2. Therefore, our y-intercept is 0, 2. And I want you to highlight this answer. Next, we're going to find the x-intercept. Again, in finding the x-intercept, we will let our y be equal to 0. Copy the original given, substitute 0 to y this time, and it will become 2x equals to negative 2 divided by 2 divided by 2 to get the value of x. And our x here is negative 1. Therefore, our x-intercept is negative 1, 0. Then I want you to highlight this answer. Next, we're going to graph the given. So, our y-intercept is 0, 2. This is where 0, 2 is. And next, our x-intercept is negative 1, 0. Negative 1, 0 is in this part, and I want you to label negative 1, 0. Then you're going to connect the 2 points. Next class, we're going to proceed to example number 3. Graph the linear equation using the intercepts method. X plus y equals 4. So, the same manner, we're going to find the y-intercept. And in finding the y-intercept, we will let our x be equal to 0. So, copy the given, change x to 0, then finalize your answer. Therefore, the y-intercept is 0, 4. Then highlight this answer. Now let's proceed to finding the x-intercept. Let our y be equal to 0 this time. So, we're going to copy the original given, x plus y equals 4. Change 0 to y, so it will become x plus 0 equals 4. Then finalize our answer. So, x is equals to 4. Therefore, our x-intercept is 4, 0. Then highlight this answer. Then we're going to graph these points. Okay, so our y-intercept is 0, 4, and 0, 4 is in this part of the Cartesian plane, and label. Then the x-intercept is 4, 0. 4, 0 is in this part, then label, then connect the 2 points. And that's all for today, class. You have learned how to graph linear equation using the intercepts method. Then you are ready to answer formative assessment number 1. Thank you and God bless.